Is it correct for a Muslim to reply in the same manner to the one who abuses him whilst he is doing Islaah?
As far as when a person is doing Islaah or Dawah, the guidelines are given in the Quran. Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Nahl, chapter number 16, verse number 125, Udu ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah wal mu'azzatil hasna wajadilum billati ahsan, which means invite all to the way of thy Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching, and argue with them and reason with them in the ways that the best and most gracious. So as far as Dawah is concerned or Islaah is concerned, we should do with hikmah and husna in ways that are best and most gracious with beautiful preaching. Even if your opposite person, the Muslim or non-Muslim, while doing Islaah or Dawah, he gets angry, he starts cursing, he starts giving verbal abuse, yet you should be kind and loving, the way the Prophet was. And we've seen the example of the Prophet, that many a time the non-Muslims, they troubled the Prophet, and we know the story that there was a lady who used to always throw dirt on the Prophet. Whenever he used to pass by, she used to throw dirt on him. And one day, when no dirt falls on him, he's wondering, how did this non-Muslim lady didn't throw dirt? So he went up to find out what's happened to her. And there he realizes that she was sick. So then he goes and he prays for her. She was so happy that she accepts Islam. The Prophet did not retaliate in the same way. And we find several such examples. It's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, hadith number 6030, that once a Jew, he comes and wishes the Prophet, Assam alaikum. Assam alaikum in Arabic means, may death be on you. And the Prophet replies back, on you too. Hazrat Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, the wife of the Prophet, she hears this and she gets very angry. She tells to the Jew that may Allah's curse be on you. May the wrath of Allah be on you. And she starts getting angry. So the Prophet tells to her that you should be calm, you should be humble, you should not get angry. So Hazrat Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, she replies that, did you hear what they told you? So the Prophet replies, did you hear what I replied to them? And my dua would be accepted, their dua would not be accepted. So this was the way the Prophet dealt with the people. It's further mentioned in Sahih Muslim, volume number 4, hadith number 6280, that it's not proper for a person who's sidq to invoke curses with a person who is sincere. That means it's not right for a believer, a believing Muslim, to invoke curses on others, invoke and speak rudely and verbal abuses, etc. And it's mentioned in the hadith of Tirmidhi, hadith number 2019, that a believer should not invoke curses. It's not correct for a believer to invoke curses. And therefore the Prophet always said that when people get angry, he said that I have come as a mercy and blessing. I have not come as an invoker of curses. So here we realize that this was the example that we have to follow. And as Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Ahzab, chapter 33, verse number 21, that verily in the Prophet is the most beautiful pattern of conduct. So while doing Dawah, while doing Islaah, we should never get angry, we should not retaliate, we should win them over. Winning over is much better than rather retaliating. You have to be kind, soft and merciful.
Jazakallah khair for the answer.